2, 3.
Before a new family moves in.
Yeah, so this one, a little bit of a unique situation. Obviously, based on what we're seeing, it looks like, there was an older person who was living here, and I believe they either passed away in the home or in, hospice or the hospital, but definitely passed away recently just based on all the stuff that's in the home and the stuff we're going to see.
Yeah, and we'll explain a little bit more about that actually inside, because the highway noise is a little bit loud out here, and I want you guys to have a clear understanding of what probate is and how it affects the sale of the home.
Yeah, and obviously highway noise is always something that's going to come into play when you're coming up with the value of a home. It's something you want to consider. Not all buyers are going to be cool with having that much highway noise.
If you were to install dual pane windows in here, it would definitely improve the situation. You wouldn't be able to hear it, but we are very close to the freeway. And you can see from this front patio right off the bat, before we've even gone into the house, that there is some work needed. There's some deteriorating, definitely some deferred maintenance.
Yeah, you can see they really haven't been maintaining the landscaping at all. There's tons of leaves. The front yard's overgrown.
This property definitely has had a lot of deferred maintenance, and I think it's likely because the owner had been really ill.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is a probate sale, and that affects the sale of the home.
Yeah, so probate sale, that's when there is a death. It depends kind of how the property's held. Sometimes properties are held in trust. That's going to determine what happens, but sometimes probate sales, they have to get what's known as court approval. So essentially the court has to acknowledge that, yes, it can be sold at this price, but then sometimes it doesn't. So again, it depends on what the certain situation is. But again, with a probate sale, that falls under the umbrella of distressed sale. So that goes with, cash sales, foreclosures, short sales, all that stuff. Those are all kind of under the distressed sale umbrella. Honestly, this house, though, there are some great features. The floors are honestly not too bad. If you sand these down, refinish them, they could look really nice.
Absolutely. And the bones seem to be really good. I'm not seeing a ton of cracking.
Yeah, there's a little bit in the ceiling you can see here. It might be hard to see on camera. But it's got a good sized living room. You have nice big windows at the front. If you were to replace those with nice dual pane, I think that would make a really dramatic difference with that highway noise. And then as we move over here, you can see, obviously, this is what we were talking about. Probably had some sort of oxygen tank or, medical equipment here. You can see, a little rolly chair along with this. This would be, the little dining nook.
Yeah, and what's really great about this property, what I love about it is, right now it probably is not going to appeal to a traditional buyer unless they can really look past what's in this home, the fact that there is a lot of stuff, and see the end goal of what this property is. But I love the way this floor plan currently sits because it allows for the perfect opportunity of opening up this space for an open concept floor plan. It would be very easy, even if this is structural, we could put the beam in the ceiling and potentially do a beautiful breakfast bar into the living area and truly revitalizing this space. Because the kitchen's not a bad size, and it's got access directly off the garage, which is super convenient.
Yeah. Some things noticing, there's definitely probably some moisture damage at some point here. You can see it in the wood as well.
This is the same exact tile that John and I had in the bathroom of the home that we purchased ourselves.
Before we remodeled, and we jokingly called it the booger tile because
it
literally is just looks like you sneezed all over it. It's just specks of green.
Bathroom. So this is actually so funny. I never really see this pattern, and it was so unique in the home that we had purchased for ourselves. It was so not cute in my opinion, and it's what's in this kitchen. It's kind of interesting though. I love the retro green sink that kind of blends it together, brings out the color. It's unique. So let's check out the rest of the property.
So hall bathroom here, the only full bath in the house.
I just saw what's in the toilet.
What?
The toilet is totally evaporated with what seems like presents that had been left in the past. That is really disgusting. Okay, so we are in the hall bathroom. We get to take a picture of that before we leave. And this needs a lot of work and a lot of refinishing. This there's a lot of damage in the shower. This room smells very moldy and there's been a lot of moisture here. So this needs a total gut job. I wouldn't be surprised if you need to kind of rebuild the flooring here. The shower seems like it's had a lot of deterioration in the tile work, so I would imagine there's some leaking behind the wall.
Again, with the stools and that board there, you can tell that, someone, again, with mobility issues.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like making my stomach turn.
So at the back of the house, we have the 3 bedrooms. It doesn't seem like any of them were being used as bedrooms. It just kind of has a lot of stuff. This particular one that Melissa's in right now, I would assume is the master. It has a half bath.
It does have a half bath off of it. There's a lot of stuff in here, so it is really hard to see the potential of this property behind all the stuff. What's unique and what we're noticing about this property, because when we first entered, we were really confused. Like, is somebody still living here? Is this... And I think that there's actually probably been some squatters in here. This window is completely open. We'll show you the window in the other room that's broken. This is the half bath situation. So again, this one smells pretty badly of cigarettes. There's, wallpaper on the wall. I would imagine that an investor would likely try and break down the wall in between the 2 bathrooms and make this a proper full bathroom while taking some of the storage away from the hallway. So this room, I would consider the master. It's got some great light coming in here. It's got the half bath already, so not too much remodeling needed. And you've got a decent sized closet. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. So in the last 2 bedrooms here, both actually, pretty decent size for this area. It's not really known for having large bedrooms, but I would say these are on the bigger side.
This is, I think, what they were utilizing as their office. It's a little bit overwhelming. I don't know if I would be too productive in this space, but it seems like that's kind of what they were utilizing the space as. And this is the 3rd bedroom that we're entering right now.
So yeah, in this room, one of the things we actually noticed is this window has been broken. It looks like someone either threw something through the window or punched it out type of thing. When we see properties like this, it's not uncommon for them to draw attention to people who, vandals, squatters, drug addicts, stuff like that.
And with this being somebody who has a lot of their belongings just left.
Oh, I just noticed.
Oh,
definitely
shit.
Something that got thrown. Literally a rock.
Oh my god, in the
I just
wall.
noticed that.
We just noticed that. Holy crap. And I'm also noticing her jewelry. Her jewelry is out. So whoever entered has been going through jewelry. This whole box is full of her jewelry, and I would imagine that whatever was of any value is probably gone.
Yeah, and there's glass everywhere. So
in this room.
Again, like properties that are vacant properties that are like in condition like this, they often draw attention. So it's something that, if, for instance, you ever inherit a home or something like this, it's definitely something to be aware of when you're going to be selling it and dealing with it.
Yeah, you'll want to get it taken care of as soon as possible to avoid things like this. Honestly, we're going to call the listing agent as soon as we finish this video to let him know that I think there's been vandals in this property and potentially people squatting here at night.
So honestly, it's a pretty good home. Like, it has a lot of potential. Really, what I would do, refinish the floors. I would blow out the wall here, open up the kitchen, have a really nice big open space.
I would make that half bath in the master for certain a full bath.
Yeah, I would do my best to make it a proper full bathroom, so it's a full 3-2. Right now it's just a 3-1.5. Mm-hmm. The bedrooms themselves, though, are honestly not that bad. Just paint, fixing stuff up here and there. I'm sure that probably like the roof needs some work. Obviously landscaping. I would want to explore a little bit of the cracking that we're seeing, although it doesn't feel like there's foundation issues. I'm not really seeing anything aside from little cracks.
Which could just be aesthetic, cosmetic cracking. And, depending on how this sale is being handled, who currently owns this property, depending on what actually gets cleared out of here, as an investor, you may have a lot of hauling to do. Sometimes properties come with everything that they're filled with.
Yeah.
So
sometimes as is quite literally means as is, which means you get all of this.
You get all these DVDs and a picture of the Pope. So depending on how much is actually cleared out of this property through the sale, that would be a pretty hefty cost. Hauling is a hefty cost. You typically pay by the pound or have to rent a full dumpster, and there is a lot of stuff in here, at least a full dumpster full. So just something to keep in mind. Let us know if you're interested in checking it out. This is a great property. It'll go quickly.
Yeah, and Rolando is definitely a hot area coming up really quick, sandwiched between La Mesa and El Cerrito. Really, aside from the house needing some work, the only negative I'm seeing is the highway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good property. Talk to you guys soon.